Hey guys, you're watching the DG Network. I'm Gian Perez. With me today is my friend Michael Giordano. We just got out of watching Avengers Endgame, and we're going to do a little review. Be warned, there will be spoilers, so if you haven't watched the film yet and you don't want to know what happens, then tune in next week after you watch the film, and stop wasting time and hurry up and watch that shit. But Mike, let's start with you. What were your initial thoughts?
My initial thought for like the first section of the movie was like, oh shit, I'm not gonna like this. It started off very slow.
Yeah.
It starts off very slow. And it took a while to be like, okay, I see why this is necessary. I see what this is setting up, and then the second half of the movie is very satisfying. So it was like by the end of it, I'm like, okay, it's fine that it happened that way. It's tonally so different from Infinity War.
Yes.
That's immediately, you recognize that immediately going in.
Right, like Infinity War, you get grabbed by the throat immediately. Thanos gets on the Thor's ship, kills everybody, gets to the fight with the Hulk, beats the shit out of the Hulk.
Oh yeah.
So much happens. Messes up Thor. Like everybody gets messed up. Kills Loki as well. Like so much stuff happens in that first scene that you're like already gripping your seat. You know,
right.
And immediately we have the sentimental stuff with Tony Stark. I mean, I don't want to go through Infinity War, everything that happened in Infinity War. You guys watched it already. But this one, yeah, it starts out, even where it starts was a little,
Yeah.
it was a little odd, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I can't remember what the opening scene was really, like, right? It was definitely not any action. It wasn't immediately after,
It was Hawkeye and his family.
Hawkeye and his family, yeah. Like you get, and I get it. I knew exactly where that was going,
Right?
Because that leads to, that's. I mean, we'll get to that later, I guess.
Yeah.
But it really made me appreciate what other time travel movies have done, because time travel is really complicated. And they take shots at the time travel movies in this one as well,
they really do,
which is funny. But yeah, just getting to the time travel part in itself, it was a lot of preparation to the point where I asked myself after the film, if I hadn't watched everything that came before it, would I have stuck around so deep into this? Like, if this was the first time I ever watched this movie, no context whatsoever, I don't know.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have survived it, because it was that slow. It was plotting. I think they kind of earned that from us with everything that came beforehand. Like, so we know this is the end of this first phase, this entire chapter, the first 10 years of Marvel. So I think that's why we stick around, because we know it was going to pay off eventually. But I mean, how were you surprised when they chopped off Thanos' head in the first 15 minutes?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, they got to that part real quick. I thought that was going to be what the second half was.
Right. Yeah. I was assuming it was going to be like them trying to find Thanos, like hunting Thanos down, and then finally having this big conflict at the end, getting the gems back, and doing whatever they had to do to get everything back to where it needed to be, which is pretty much what it was. But it wasn't like that as well, because we land on whatever planet Thanos is on, and come to find out, he's in a weakened state. He's not ready to fight anybody.
Oh yeah, he's totally.
Yeah, he's done. Like, you see, like, his face is burnt. He's limping while walking up the stairs into his cabin. Like, he's not the same guy they fought before. He's in a different place as well. And he destroyed the Infinity Gems somehow. He was able to use them on each other to destroy everything, so there's no way to get them. And he mentioned something about them being atoms now. When he said that, I thought, okay, this is going to play into the subatomic thing with Ant-Man.
Oh,
I was thinking that's, and it did, but it really
not in
didn't.
that way.
Yeah, I really wasn't expecting it to be a time travel movie. I was also expecting Captain Marvel to play a bigger part in the film, and she really didn't, which is good. I'm actually happy about that.
Well, you said coming out of Captain Marvel that she's OP.
Yeah.
And there's that's the reason why she doesn't show up as often as she does in this movie.
Right.
Because she just wrecks fucking house.
Right, exactly. And even then, Thanos still got the better of her.
Yeah.
Which for me was a little inconsistent, because when we first meet Thanos, well, not when we first meet him, but when we see Thanos in action, and he beats up the Hulk, he's got the power gem. in the glove.
Right.
So because he's got the power gem or the power stone, whatever you want to call it, that like okay, this is why I looked at it this way. I look like they're pretty similar strength wise, except Thanos is a soldier, so he has like actual physical hand-to-hand training, which is why he was able to dispatch the Hulk so easily, on top of having the power gem. So I thought once those gems were gone, he should have been a little bit easier to fight, but he was still really tough. It took everybody to take him down.
Well, yeah. I think by the time Captain Marvel fights him, though, he does actually have the gauntlet on. She's preventing him from making the fist.
This is true, right?
So,
but he has that big battle with Hulk with the original trio with Hulk,
he does. Yeah, he
Thor,
does that. He does
and Iron Man, and he beats his shit up.
Shit
It was pretty easily, they gave him a little fight, but he pretty much dispatched all three of them.
Yeah.
So it was still like, I don't know. For me, that's nitpicky stuff. You know, I don't want anybody to get upset by it, but it was just kind of like. I just didn't know if he earned that strength level yet without the glove. Because like I said, the first time we meet him in Infinity Wars, he already has the power gem. And he has to use the power gem to fight off Captain Marvel in this one.
Right. Oh, that's right.
Yeah. You know, showing off how powerful she is as well. No, I'm jumping ahead here. But we have all this preparation. We all have this whole Tony Stark figures out time travel in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
You know, after trying to talk everybody out of it. Like that was, you know, I don't know. I don't want to say I'm disappointed with the first half. If I grade this movie in halves, the second half is awesome. I love the second half. Like it was like everything we waited for paid off.
Yeah.
It was great. Like the send off, like Tony Stark, the way Tony Stark died, perfect. It makes sense. He's a mortal guy. He can't take. You know, it almost kills Thanos. It almost kills Hulk wielding the gauntlet. So there's no way him, a normal human guy, would have been able to survive that. That was great. Captain America send off at the very end as well. Was very satisfying. That was really cool as well. Like even the whole like asking about the ring, and he was like, "No, I'm not gonna tell you anything about it."
But we all know it was fucking Peggy Carter.
Yeah, right, exactly. That was a cool little ending, you know. But the first half of the movie, it just labored a little bit for me.
No, that's for sure, because it like a lot of the scenes were just like there was they had funny moments in Infinity War, but this movie was like, all right, let's do all the funny moments we could think of.
Right, and it was like, let's do all the funny moments here during the slow part, so that once we get to the action, the comedy's done. Because it's basically. Once we got to the battle, there was no more comedy.
Oh yeah,
the end of the film. It was like the first. It was like all zingers in the first half. And you know, like we find Hulk or not Hulk, we find Thor. Well, I mean, we find Hulk and Banner has figured out a way to get the best of both worlds into the body now. You know, so it's his consciousness in the Hulk's body. Not as big a Hulk, obviously.
Yeah, this is a smaller Hulk, a Hulk that can wear clothing.
You're right, exact. Still huge, but not as big as the one we see when they go back in time to Avengers 1 in New York City. Like way bigger monster of a Hulk. But you get humor in that scene. We find Thor. Thor's a drunk now.
I'm fucking fat.
His body looks like me when I pull my shirt off. You know, like, and it was funny, but you know, I don't know. After a while, it's kind of like, okay, another joke, and people were laughing. The jokes were funny. They were well. The humor was well written, but it was a lot. It was just too much of a good thing.
Yes, it was
in that case. Yeah, so that's kind of how I felt.
What it felt like, especially with Thor, was like, okay, they're really trying to like give him his exit from the whole like series, from the whole phase 3, I guess.
Right.
Since I guess they're gonna move on from Thor and do other heroes, it was like, all right, let's give him this.
See, I don't know
good
that though.
Emotion. Well, okay, I guess we're not gonna bring it up because it really seems like now Thor is gonna be in Guardians 3,
right?
Which I'm super excited about. I think it's gonna be fucking.
I think it's a perfect match.
Yes.
Coming from Thor Ragnarok to Guardians, it makes perfect sense.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because Thor Ragnarok is a space movie. Mm-hmm. You know, the first two Thor's not really as much of a science fiction space movie. This one for sure. Like Thor, this version of Thor with the Guardians of the Galaxy,
so fun.
And James Gunn is back directing.
Yes, that's literally my note. Like, that's a part. That's probably more with Gamora. We'll get to that. But like, yeah, James Gunn's back. Guardians 3 is going to be awesome.
Right. I'm looking forward to it. I'm a big fan of the first two. But yeah, what else? What are we missing here?
Well, I thought So Ant-Man shows up.
I was surprised that he'd been gone for 5 years too. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
And then I remember at the end of this, one of the things I didn't like about Ant-Man and the Wasp is that it all takes place before the snap, and the only reason why they did that was because they didn't want to show the after credit scene.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the after credit scene, he's stuck in the quantum realm, but you got Hank Pym disappears, Janet disappears, his daughter disappears, Hope disappears. Like they all disintegrate. There's some inconsistency with that as well. Like I was thinking about that. Like, okay, so Hawkeye's out here and half of everybody's disappearing. Why does 3/4 of his family disappear?
Yeah, right.
You know, it's a family of 4 and everybody but him.
Right.
It seems like it's just cool. It's a coincidence that all of our important characters, everybody important to them disappears, but the rest of the world, there's still half of everything.
Right.
I mean, that's that's obviously that's how they're gonna do it,
but I thought when he showed up, it like started giving a little more momentum to that first half.
Oh yeah, well, because we finally see something happening.
Right. Yeah. Really, I guess that's it.
We finally see bad guys. We finally see.
Oh yeah, I think that's why it lags, because we start off, we get the Hawkeye, his family snapped, and then we go to the Avengers. He disappears. Yeah. We go to the Avengers, who are like, oh, we gotta like get to Thanos. Captain Marvel's already there, so she's like, oh, let's go kick his ass. And then they're like, all right, oh, we found the planet already. Let's go kick his ass. And they go literally chop his head off, and then it's 5 years later. And then we get all the like slow scenes of everyone like, it's like we get another like small little, okay, now we have to go through everyone's 5-year period.
We check in with him again.
Yeah. 2 check-ins. That's what it is. Right. 2 check-ins.
And I don't know if it was necessary or not. I don't know. It was a 3-hour movie, guys. You know, if you know, I feel like you could have shaved off a little bit of that. It wouldn't have. I don't think it would have affected the ending so much if you got rid of some of it. But maybe that's just me. This is my opinion.
They could have started it like 5 years later. They didn't need to like kill Thanos right in the beginning. That was like just so Thor could like be upset more. I think it was like more for him.
Yeah, it gave him more of a reason, I guess. And like, not that his whole like half of his entire like, I don't even know what species of people are dead.
Yeah, right.
Like that wasn't motivation enough, or that him killing Loki wasn't motivation enough. Mm-hmm. Killing Heimdall killing Heimdall as well. Like all of these things that happened weren't enough motivation for him to go. They you know, well, I guess it was to end his life, kind of, because now he was just basically drinking himself to death.
Yeah.
You know, well, I guess he can't because he's a god, but
he just gets fatter and fatter.
Yeah, which is I do like how they did an homage to Big Lebowski. If only he was drinking White Russians.
Yeah,
for real,
beer, for real.
You know.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
But there was, once we get into the time travel stuff, that would start really cool.
Yeah.
As well, like the Hulk ruining everything on accident, like 2012 Avengers Hulk ruining everything, and going back and touching base, or like in Asgard, you know, Rocket goes like, come on dude, let's go, and Thor's in his feelings, and then he sees his mom, and I think he got the closure with his mom that he didn't get before she died, which was like, that was like some good like heart-wrenching stuff.
Yeah, that was.
And going back, like some of the good stuff about the first half, like Tony and his relationship with his daughter.
Oh, that was so sweet.
It was sweet, and like we kind of knew that was gonna be tough. Like that was him. That was why he hesitated, because he's like, dude, like this shit happened. I'm married to Pepper now. I have a daughter now. He finally kind of accepted where he was in life. He wasn't trying to go out there and save the world all the time. And those goddamn Avengers, just when I thought I was out, they bring me back in.
Yeah,
you know,
that's basically what it was.
Yeah, so there's all that stuff going on. I don't know. I just think I feel like at the end of the day, I like the movie, and I don't want to nitpick too much, which is what we've been doing this whole time. Really, like I think that's how it shows how great the second half of the film was. Like for all the stuff that we were complaining about in the first half, the second half redeemed it to a point where I still love the movie. I don't know. Yeah.
I like I said, I thought going in, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy it, but then like I definitely started enjoying it. Like for sure, once the time travel, like once they like actually initiate the time travel and they go back. Scenes are really fun. I especially enjoyed the New York City scenes, 2012 Avengers scenes. Those are fun. Then like how they gotta then they gotta go back further. Tony and Cap gotta go back further, and there's some more like kind of emotional scenes. Tony meets his father. Cap goes into Peggy Carter's office.
Yeah.
So it's like more more fuel for their closure ultimately in this movie.
And I'm so glad that the black lady in the 1970s wasn't Nick Fury's mom or something.
Yeah, right.
That would have annoyed me.
Oh, that'd be terrible.
Just you guys are trying way too hard here.
Yeah.
But it was also cool. Like Tony got closure with his dad.
Yeah.
As well, and I think that's when you kind of know, like, okay, I don't think Tony's gonna make it. You know, because everything that he had gets kind of connected into a little bow, and
but like deservedly so.
Yeah, deservedly so. It did. I mean, great job for RDJ, and I hope whatever he does next with his career is, awesome. He's a great actor. He's overcome a lot of stuff, but
yeah, for real.
But let's talk about that final battle, man. There's so many cool scenes, like. We start seeing all these portals opening up, and then Black Panther, the Wakandans come out.
And it was
badass.
And then, like, it was like, so it's like, the three, it's like, T'Challa, Okoye, and Shuri come out. Yeah. And you're like, oh, that's cool, but then you start hearing,
the red.
Papa! Or whatever the chant they have, and then the camera goes behind them, you see the whole fucking army, you're like, yes, yes.
No M'Baku, though, man.
I know!
That's a disappointment.
I know! I saw him, but not, like, in that first shot.
Right.
Which was disappointing. Like, he should have been, like, right there in the front of that army, or whatever. But yeah, that was cool, and then, like, it was like that first portal, and then just, like, portal, and all these fucking good guys just pour out. And it was like so fast. Like you saw Valkyrie, she was prominent because she's on her like unicorn or horse, flying horse or whatever. Pegasus, yeah. Fucking, I guess Rescue as it shows up.
Oh yeah, that was like, that's a scene that's gonna trigger some people. I thought it was awesome. Like this big tribute to all the super strong female characters.
Yeah, that was cool.
All together, all united together with this big sweeping shot. Like I thought that was so fucking cool.
Yeah,
like,
that was great.
If I had a daughter, like that would be her moment. She'd be like so like happy to see that. I thought it was super cool. I know there's gonna be people out there talking shit about it.
Fuck them.
Yeah. But I thought that was really cool. And they all got together, and I know I've read somewhere that the next phase is gonna be, focusing a lot more on the female characters, which is cool. Like I've always had an affinity for the women characters in comics. I don't know, something about women kicking ass just does something for me. Probably not appropriate to talk about that.
We don't need to go into detail, but I'm right there with you.
Yeah. So that was a real cool shot, and just man, that battle all together was just
it was fucking awesome,
badass. It was Falcon's back.
Bucky,
Bucky's back.
Like literally everyone's back.
Everyone's back, Or the interaction between Star-Lord and Gamora. Like he doesn't realize that this Gamora is not the Gamora he knows. She doesn't know who he is yet, And Nebula has to explain to her who he is, and how they have a connection.
And Gamora's like,
really, this guy? Which is interesting, but that final battle and the culmination of it all,
I liked the like kind of passing of the gauntlet.
Yeah.
We got some good Spider-Man action out of that. We got some T'Challa action out of that. I think Valkyrie touched it for a little bit. Captain Marvel met Peter Parker. Was like, hey, what's up? He's like clutching the gauntlet. He's like, oh, Peter Parker. Right. He's like, what's up, Peter Parker?
Now, what do you think about this? Here's a question I had. Thanos had to go to that moon and have those ginormous dwarves forge him the gauntlet.
Right.
How is Tony able to make that glove capable of withstanding all the gems?
Right.
Which is something I was like,
we're just gonna skip past that part.
Yeah.
Like the glove also could just like magically, even though I know it's nanotech or whatever, but it could, like, it's when Tony first makes it, it's like human size, and then they're like, oh, the Hulk has to use it. It's
extends.
Like, it extends. So it's like, all right, you know.
Exactly.
The same thing with Tony's like 30-second time travel thing. It's like, all right, we're just gonna go past that part just so we can get the rest of the plot moving.
Right. This is just more nitpicky stuff, I guess, But overall, I mean, gone on for a little while now. What would you rate the film? What would you give it?
I'm gonna
ask you two questions. What would you rate this film, and where would you put it in the pantheon of the MCU?
Oh shit! All right. I still think Infinity War is better. I think Infinity War is just tighter, and it's way more focused, way tighter. Even though it's not the ending, quote unquote.
Yeah. Infinity War is like the Empire Strikes Back.
Right. This felt like the Return of the King to me.
Right.
This is like, all right, we gotta get through all this shit, and then the giant battle at the end, where the good guys win or whatever, and then some like the like send off for all the people or whatever, and it felt like that, and it all felt earned. So I like do think this is a good end to the whole saga.
Yeah.
Good end to the Infinity Saga. I think it's up there. It's like, as much as you can put the like 3-hour epic in with like the regular Marvel movies, it's still like up there.
Right.
I think it's pretty good. I think what matters most to me is that I was very satisfied by it. Very satisfied by the ending.
Absolutely.
Despite the beginning, the rocky and slow beginning, it was still like, okay, they paid off the things I wanted paid off. So I'm very happy with it. And we were saying as we were walking out, I was like, I don't know if I'd see it again, but I'm like, I'm more than likely to see it again at this point.
Right. I'm the same way too. I think, I guess I won't give it a number, but I was definitely satisfied with it. I enjoyed it. If someone wants to go watch it with me again, because full disclosure, this show is so sold out everywhere, like, I found a shitty screen. Like, it's a tiny... I felt like I was watching on my laptop. Exaggerating a little bit, but I would love to see it on a much bigger screen.
Oh, yeah.
For more of the spectacle. The audio was fine, but...
Yeah, the audio was fine.
Yeah, in the theater, but the screen was definitely... It's definitely an older theater. So I'd probably want to watch it again on the bigger screen. But, I don't know. I would definitely put it in my top 10 of Marvel films.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Maybe just on the outside of the top 5. I don't know if I'd put it in the top 5 just yet. I always forget all the movies that are in it, so I have to really... I made a list earlier in the year because somebody asked me and I gave it to them, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. And maybe that's a video I'll do, like my rankings of the Marvel films. But, I mean, well, that's the end of this 10 years, and that's going to be the end of this video. And, Spider-Man Far From Home's coming out this summer, and we'll see what happens next after that. I don't think they have any movies slated to come out just yet. I know Dark Phoenix is coming out, which has nothing to do with MCU.
Oh yeah, right.
There may be, we'll see what happens with this new chapter, because now they have Fantastic Four, they have X-Men, and everything that comes along with both of those universes. So you could do a lot more, and I wouldn't mind if they took like a year off or something, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't mind. I don't think they're gonna lose any heat if they took a year off and like really like collected themselves and figure out what they want to do next with what they have. Because so far, Kevin Feige's been knocking it out of the park.
Yeah, for real. I mean, they're rock stars. They can just like take some time off, figure out what they're doing for their next album.
Exactly. Exactly. So, anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for us. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Ring the bell if you are. You can follow us on social media. Check the description for more links and stuff. And we will see you next time.
Peace. Cool, man.
Yeah.